Here at home, we've been waiting for the Benghazi report to come out, not with bated breath. We have already had 8 different investigations into Benghazi by Congress because they can't get anything else done. But if you want to investigate Democrats, the Republicans are all on board for wasting your money to do that. Those 8 investigations all concluded the same thing. No one had done anything wrong. There was they had hoped that there would be a better reaction in order to be able to save lives there on that day. But no one did anything criminal, reckless, malicious. That's what all the other reports have concluded. Guess what they concluded today? The same goddamn thing after wasting more of your money because they thought they could dig up dirt on Hillary Clinton, and they couldn't because it doesn't exist. But it won't matter. I'm going to show you conservatives saying that. But at the end of the day, the conservatives who believe this kind of crap are blinded. They're blinded by their ideology. So even though this is the 9th report in a row saying, no, the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton State Department didn't do anything illegal or malicious in this Benghazi attack, they'll still say Benghazi, Benghazi, as if that proves something. No, it proves the opposite. You were wrong. You were wrong throughout. In fact, let's go to the guy who led this report, Trey Gowdy. They're going to ask him an interesting question here, and let's see if he has a direct answer or not.
Americans have viewed these events and all of these investigations through certain lenses, and they're probably going to continue after today, despite your pleas that they read 800 pages of a report. There are bumper stickers and T-shirts all over this country that say, Hillary Clinton lied, people died. Maybe Mr. Pompeo would answer this too. Is that true?
You don't see that T-shirt on me, and you've never seen that bumper sticker on any of my vehicles, and you've never heard me comment on that.
What is your report shed any light on that, investor?
Have you read it?
Well, I'm asking you. I haven't had time.
Well, I'm asking you to read it. I'm asking you to read it. I'm not going to tell you what to be on the lookout for. I'm going to tell you there's new information, and it fundamentally changes the way I view what happened before, during, and after.
Loser! Let me explain what he just said to you. I got nothing. You're telling me you wrote an 800-page report and they asked you, did you find any new findings? You're at a press conference and you won't answer the question of if there's any new findings. You know what that means? There ain't any new findings. They just found the same old crap that the other 8 investigations found. If they had new findings, you know what Republicans would do? They would do this. Then they would do this. That's the whole point of the press conference. Look at my report. Oh my God, it's so important. It's so interesting. Let me tell you all about it. They ask him, hey, what's in the report? I'm not going to tell you. You read it. Oh, weak sauce defined. Let me also break that excuse down for you. Anytime somebody has lost an argument, they will say, did you read it? You know, whether it's a book, Dinesh D'Souza, or Sam Harris, or it's Republicans with their report. They just released an 800-page report earlier that morning. Who in the world could have read an 800-page report in a couple of hours? You know they couldn't have read it. That's why you use it as an excuse. You see, it's a rhetorical trick. That's like me saying, if anyone attacks any of my positions, have you watched every video I've ever done? No, don't comment until you go watch every single video. Otherwise, you're uninformed about my positions. That's what Trey Gowdy's doing here. It's the oldest trick in the book. Oh, you didn't instantly read the 800-page report? Well, then I'm not going to tell you in a minute. Hey, we just asked you, did she lie or did she not lie? You guys have been telling us about Hillary Clinton, there's Hillary Clinton, that. Did she lie? You read the 800-page report I released minutes ago. That's not fucking clever. It's never been clever, and it's not clever now. Okay, so today, Donald Trump's lawyer is retweeted a meme accusing Hillary Clinton of being a murderer in regards to Benghazi, because the guy running for president is a goddamn lunatic. So Trey Gowdy asked, hey, was anybody complicit in the deaths of these 4 Americans that were killed at Benghazi? Quote, I'm not going to make a reckless allegation that they could have been saved. Not only were they not murdered, not only were they not killed by anyone in the administration, what a preposterous thing to say. He's saying it would be reckless to allege that they could have been saved. which is exactly what every Republican and conservative in the country have been saying now for years. So there's your guy right there, Trey Gowdy, your big investigator, and he just told you they couldn't have been saved. But I got more from conservatives. Hang on for that. But first, let me give you a little bit of background on this. Huffington Post reports after spending more than 2 years and $7 million, the House Select Committee on Benghazi released a report Tuesday that found, like 8 investigations before it, no evidence of wrongdoing by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton or other members of the Obama administration. So all you conservatives are, oh man, I don't like the government wasting my money. Well, they just took $7 million of your money, hard-earned money, and they flushed it down the toilet. Because if it was the first investigation, well, you don't know if there's anything wrong. You should do that investigation. I know it costs money, but you should do it. Even on an issue I thought they had nothing. But I don't know until the first investigation comes in. The 9th investigation, we already knew they were flushing it down the toilet, and they did it for politics. Okay, they say Hillary Clinton stonewalled. She was in there for 11 hours straight testifying before you. What did you want her to do, 12 hours straight? What a bunch of terrible, sad excuses. Okay, Huffington Post explains further. The new report also fails to find evidence of wrongdoing, revealing, as all previous reports did, that the administration's response to the terror attacks was flawed, but not malicious or derelict. That's a Republican report. Democrats released their own report. The Republicans, they want to get them so bad. They riled everybody up. Oh, they lied. Benghazi! They screamed from the rooftops. And at the end, the best they had on them is their response to the attacks were flawed. Wow. That's what all this has been about? Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. 4 people died. Yes, there was something flawed in that. If there wasn't something flawed, if there was better planning overall, nobody would have died. We know that. That's heartbreaking. But don't use that tragedy to imply that they did something malicious or derelict or reckless or anything worse than that, because that would be a lie. And now you know that. All right. Mike Pompeo, Republican of Kansas, trying to save his ass in any way, shape, or form for being involved in this charade, says, we expect our government to make every effort to save the lives of Americans who serve in harm's way. That did not happen in Benghazi. Oh, so you're contradicting the guy who's the head of your committee who just said that that would be a reckless allegation. Way to go. He says politics were put ahead of lives of Americans. Ironic, because that's exactly what you're doing with this committee. And while the administration had made excuses and blamed the challenges posed by time and distance, the truth is that they did not try. No, that is not the truth. That's not even what the report says. But he doesn't like what the report says. It's inconvenient for him, so he's like, I'm going to slander them afterwards anyway. So they asked his lawyer. Well, Pompeo's conclusion, as the Huffington Post explains, however, runs counter to statements of his committee's top lawyer, who said during the probe that the Department of Defense did all it could. That's your own lawyer saying the Department of Defense did everything they could. You know that we sent in a team. That's why 2 of the guys actually died. Team Tripoli. It was our guys. They went and flew in to Benghazi, and for 3 hours, they worked with guys we thought were on our side, the safest militia we could find. They got there to the airport at 1:30 in the morning. They get finally on the road at 4:30. They arrive at 5 in the morning, and you know what it was? In those 3 hours, those guys had been setting up an ambush. So once they're inside the embassy, our team, the other guys, most of them take off. They leave one of their guys to die along with our guys, and the bombing continues. And that's how we lost 2 out of the 4 that were killed. They got hit by a mortar attack. So what do you mean we didn't do anything? We sent in a team, and 2 of those brave souls died trying to rescue the others. What do you mean we didn't do anything? What a terrible insult to our troops, to our brave men that died fighting in Benghazi, trying to rescue others. But the Republicans don't care. They're happy to spit in their face anyway. So finally, of course, Hillary Clinton comes out and says, come on now. Are we going to do investigation 10, or are we finally done with this goddamn thing? Watch.
I understand that after more than 2 years and $7 million spent by the Benghazi committee out of taxpayer funds, it had to today report it had found nothing to contradict the conclusions of the Independent Accountability Board or the conclusions of the prior multiple earlier investigations carried out on a bipartisan basis in the Congress. So while this unfortunately took on a partisan tinge, I want us to stay focused on what I've always wanted us to stay focused on, and that is the important work of diplomacy and development. So I'll leave it to others to characterize this report, but I think it's pretty clear it's time to move on.
So I know there's some conservatives who'll never believe anything Hillary Clinton says. Oh, she has credibility issues. Look, I think if you watch this show at all, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton, and I have questioned her credibility and her policies on many occasions. But here, it's not just Hillary Clinton. First of all, that doesn't mean that you have to discount everything she says. Use your mind and your judgment. It's not a black and white world. Hillary Clinton is right about some things, wrong about other things. In this case, she's absolutely right. 9 reports have confirmed that she's been right all along. I told you all along that this was a total nonsense issue, and they had nothing, and they were doing it for politics because the evidence was already in. But if you don't believe any of us, well, how about the conservatives? David Bozell, one of the most conservative guys in the country, he wanted blood here. He wanted investigators in his mind to be tougher, etc. So did you get it, David? You spent all this money, and are you happy with what's in the report? Does it prove that Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama did anything wrong? Well, let's go to his quote. He says, I find it incomprehensible and insulting that this committee spent 2 years and $7 million in taxpayer dollars to release an 800-page report with no firm findings or conclusions. In other words, even the most conservative guys in the country go, there's nothing in this report. But Dave Bozell, do you know why there's nothing in the report? Because there is no evidence of wrongdoing. And that's what you can't get through your thick skull. And here you're crying, why didn't you just make it up? We've been making up the bumper stickers. We've been making up the attacks all along. Why won't you just make up evidence? Oh, God damn it. 9 investigations in a row, and all of them found the same exact evidence. No wrongdoing. Well, if you don't believe that, then you don't care about facts. You don't care about the evidence. And there's no point in talking to you anymore because you're blinded by your ideology. And no matter what the evidence is, no matter how many Republicans tell you what the evidence is, you're still going to say, Benghazi, Benghazi, as if that means something. Well, they just told you that all of your political attacks against Obama and Clinton in this case meant absolutely nothing. They were all based on lies.